Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
Hardened criminals, including rapists, are coming to Britain on small boats, an academic warned today in a cry for politicians to get tough. Professor Matthew Goodwin said illegal channel crossings are a serious issue for voters because some go on to commit vile offenses. The right-leaning author clashed with left-wing commentator Matthew Staidlin on a fiery episode of Never Mind the Ballots this morning. Mr. Staidlin railed, "You said that the Tories had let in an assortment of illegal migrants, rapists, and Islamist terrorists. That is straight out of the Trump handbook." But Professor Goodwin hit back. People who have come across in a small boats have gone on to pour acid over mothers and children in their cars. Some of them have gone on to rape British schoolgirls down in Kent. Yes, actually, I think this is a serious issue that people care about. The heated exchanges saw Mr. Staidlin say that wherever there are humans you will find criminals and that small boat migrants were desperate people. Watch our channel's new daily Never Mind the Ballots election countdown show on our brand new YouTube channel here. Every weekday Sun political editor Harry Cole brings you the latest news and analysis from the election campaign trail. Professor Goodwin shot back. Even the security services have said the people who are coming across are a threat to the British people. The Tories risk electoral obliteration while Nigel Farage will continue riding the wave of anti-elitism sweeping Europe, Professor Goodwin added. He warned either the pollsters will have egg on their faces on July 5th or Rishi Sunak's vote is on course to collapse. Speaking on Never Mind the Ballots, the right-leaning author said, "We're either heading into the biggest error in the history of the polling industry, in which case the polling industry is just going to need to pack up and go home, or we're heading for a major conservative wipeout and Farage's best performance on record." Some polls have put reform within 2 points of the PM, leaving some Tories fearing a crossover point where Mr. Farage overtakes. Professor Goodwin said mayhem would break loose if that happened and that all bets are off for the future of the party. Mr. Farage this week ruled out doing a deal with the Tories, whom he accused of presiding over 14 years of high taxes and mass immigration. Populists in Europe like the National Rally in France thumped governing parties in this week's continental elections by standing on the same platform. In a fiery clash on this morning's show, left-wing commentator Staidlin said the march of the right was being overplayed. He highlighted how centrist parties still commanded the biggest shares in the European Parliament. But Professor Goodwin dismissed this as a comfort blanket for people on the left, adding, "If you look at all the evidence as to why people are voting for Marine Le Pen, for the AfD in Germany, for Nigel Farage in Britain, they have entirely rational, coherent concerns. The left refuses to accept this. They want lower immigration. They want slower demographic cultural change. They want stronger borders. They don't want the woke stuff being jammed down their throats. They don't want to be told that a woman is a man and a man is a woman. They just want common sense policies." Now the left can keep saying, "This is just protest. These people are irrational gammons and bigots, and they're misinformed and they're disinformation." But the reality is they have entirely legitimate, understandable grievances about what's going on in the West today. Mr. Staidlin shot back that reform was still only polling at around 12%. He said, "What you're saying is that there is this great revolt, there's something happening out there, as Farage says, this great cry to overturn the Westminster elites or the Tory elites. Why are they going to do so badly in terms of seats in this election?" Professor Goodwin admitted reform may win only several seats due to the brutal first past the post-electoral system that punishes smaller parties. But he warned Labour not to be too gleeful that Mr. Farage will split the Conservative vote and pave the way Sir Keir Starmer to come down the middle. He said, over the longer term, over the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, if Farage keeps going as he is and reform keep picking up support as they are, we'll see exactly what W.